Alright class, so in the previous video I showed you how to turn fractions to decimals, decimals to percents. But let's go ahead and try to work this backwards a little bit. Let's say we have 90%. Okay, so just remember percent means per 100, so out of 100. So 90% is going to be equal to 90 over 100. Now, this is the correct fraction. This is good, but we can go ahead and simplify this a little bit more. 10 goes into 90 and 10 goes into 100. So our actual fraction when it's simplified is going to be equal to 9/10. So we have our percent here, we have our simplified fraction. We're going to always try to simplify our fractions this year. Next, we're going to have to find the decimal. Now, if you have your percent, your per hundred, the decimal is pretty easy to figure out. So this says 90 over 100, so it's 90 hundredths. And how would we write that? We would write 90 hundredths. If we're going to use this over here, this says 9/10. So we'll just write 9/10. And these two, of course, are equivalent. Now, let's say we have a percent such as 85%. Right? So, what we can do here, once again, percent means per 100. So this is 85 over 100. We can already see that our decimal is going to be 85 hundredths. So let's just go ahead and put that, 85 hundredths. But this is not simplified. So we could do this a couple of ways. We could first start to divide by 5, because 5 goes into both. So if we take 85 and divide it by 5, we're going to be left with 17. Now, this is going to be 17. We went and divided by 5, so we're going to divide the denominator by 5 as well. So 100 divided by 5 is going to give us 20. So our simplified expression here is going to be 17/20. Now, let's say that we're given a decimal. Let's say it's 0.52. Now, I could turn this into a percent pretty easily by going ahead and moving this decimal point 2 times, 52%. Now, in order to turn this into a fraction, this says 52 hundredths. So it's going to be 52 hundredths. Now, this is not simplified because both of the numbers in the ones place are even. So let's go ahead and divide by 2 and see if we can simplify this a little bit more. So if we go ahead and divide this by 2, we're going to get 50. Divide this by 2. 2 goes into 5 4 times, which is going to give us, 2 goes into 5 2 times, 2 times, which is going to give us a 4. 5 minus 4 is 1, and then 2 goes into 12 6 times. So this is going to be equal to 26. Now, I just divided by 2, but I could have divided by another number. So once again, this is not simplified. So we're going to go ahead and divide by 2 again. So if I divide by 2 and I divide by 2, I'm going to get 25 over here, and I'm going to get 13 over here. So 0.52 is equal to 52%, which is also equal to 13 over 25. Now, you could go in and out as much as you want and in many different ways. You just have to remember these methods, okay? So to go from fraction decimals to percents, you could either use equivalent expressions or you can use division. Those are the two main methods that we're going to be using in class this year.